DR is known as the man's paradise. A man's paradise. This is one of the reasons why a lot of us flock to DR. Now, coming from a local's perspective, how do the local people feel about, I would say, the exploitation? Do they frown upon a certain group of people? Meaning, blacks, whites. Because a lot, it's a preconceived notion that mainly black men really are stealing Dominican women. I even had a viewer on my channel who was like, you guys are dogs, you're stealing our women, and I kind of had to clear that up because there are a lot of us that come down there with, good intentions, trying to boost the economy, trying to create jobs for the local people. It's unfortunate that it takes a few bad apples that make it bad for the bunch, and you got people like myself who are going down there trying to clean up that to show the local people that there are people that are not, into that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So, my question to you really is how do your people really look at that? Do they really frown upon it? How do they, how do they feel about it in general?
Okay. Well, from my perspective, at least,
Hmm.
when it comes to race, like you say, black men, white men, and etc. Here, and my wife can attest to that. There's really not that much prejudice on
Hmm.
when it comes to racism. That's something. That's a notion that is very, very misinterpreted. Like when they say, "Oh, DR is dangerous," they're locking up black men, they're deporting people or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And that's something that, and I know this is it sounds very controversial, or a lot of people say it's like, oh, it's mostly targeted and it's to Haitians, and it's not legal Haitians either. It's illegal immigrants that come in and they're all around the place. And every week, I can tell you, every week, a certain day, the National Department of Immigration comes and picks people up. Now, you're not used to seeing that in the States. What you're used to seeing is, oh, they're going to do a raid in such and such place, and they bundled up a couple of immigrants. Or you're going to see an inspector come in, let's say at your grocery store, and say, oh, you're contracting an illegal immigrant, we're taking them from you. That's what you're used to seeing, something more formal. But here, obviously, it's a third world country. It seems more visceral, more alive.
Hmm.
Now, when it comes to what you said about men coming in for that tourism, how do people feel about it? Well, the way most Dominicans and the way even I see it is you work to enjoy your life and to spend your money however you want. And that
Hmm.
you're taking Dominican women, and nah, that's not the case. You're just coming here to you go to certain places to get a certain service. You know how
Hmm.
Suez, certain other places. All right. But
Hmm.
we don't feel that you're coming. If anything, you're boosting us. Now, there are some men that come, do some really mean things, both to women, men, and what have you. And just because they have the money to do it, they feel like they can treat us less, like we're a minority. And that's what's really frowned upon. Like, even when you see, like, and I've had it happen to me, and when they see my level of English or my communication, they get surprised or they even step back because they treat, oh, you're just a regular Dominican. I can talk to you however you want. No, that's not the case. I'm a human being just like you. You will treat me with the respect I'm giving you. And I
Right.
think that's where a lot of people should really tread carefully, that they come to the country, they come for a certain demographic or a certain kind of tourism, but they feel entitled just because they have a little bit more money or they have better income than us, that they could treat us however. Oh, with $100, I'm paying your salary, so you have to listen to me, and I can talk to you however I want. There's a
Uh-huh.
lot of Dominicans that'll bow out, and because they want their money and they need their money, but there's a lot of them that they bow out, but they don't forget, and that's why you see that bad rep happen. Because a
Okay.
lot of us, we bow out, but we don't forget, and that's why
Hmm.
a lot of people, like when it's 2 or 3 times that you experience the same thing, you're gonna be more careful and you're gonna show it too.
Mm. Okay. Makes sense. Definitely makes sense.